Things I considered luxury since becoming an adult. Number one, curtains. I have yet to get any. If the neighbors want to see my ass, I guess they gonna see it. Fuck you mean $50, $60 for one piece of cloth, bitch. Maybe I'll get them next month, but I've been saying that for a year. Number two, car tires. I'll walk. $200 per tire? No, yeah, I'm walking. I'm gonna get an Uber. I don't know what I'm gonna do when my car tires start acting up, but what I'm not gonna do is pay that. Get somebody else to do it. Number three, flowers. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative, but before you drop $150 on some roses, like, I got a few things I want. The only cheap ones is like the supermarket Johns, but even in that case, $10? Can I just get one e.l.f. lip gloss? Rugs. You would think it's the actual floor. You would think your floor don't work without it, the way they price them shits. I mean, like, I have a big ass rug, but like, I just really wanted a pink fuzzy rug, so I was like, fuck it. But I'm mad. Every time I look at it, I'm like, fuck, like, that's like a month worth of lattes that I just spent on one fucking buy. Decorative plants. I have 3 big plants in my house. Together, those amount to $400. I don't know what fucking crack I was sniffing when I bought those.
Let's talk about things that used to be affordable, now is a luxury. One main thing that comes to my mind is going to be prices of new cars. Auto manufacturers keep raising and raising their prices, and now you can't even get a brand new Toyota Corolla or a basic Civic without breaking the bank. A lot of people are taking out massive loans just for these basic economy cars because the prices of new cars have gone up substantially. They're adding a lot of luxury features to be fair to justify that price, but we're losing out on the basic economy cars and the basic needs that people need for just an A to B commuter. And then we also have the issue of renting apartments. A lot of these new apartments are turning into luxury apartments, making it quite unaffordable for people who are on a tight budget. And that's just because having those luxury features, that luxury brand, is going to be more profitable for these companies, these landlords, and that is just a huge problem that we're heading in this direction. Take a look at the rest of these clips.
18 normal things from the 80s and 90s that are considered luxuries now. Durable appliances and household equipment. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say electronics as well, because I remember dropping my Walkman, my Discman, my Nokia cell phone. You can drop a Nokia cell phone off the top of the Empire State Building and that shit would still work perfectly. Low-cost college education. Definitely not a thing anymore. Solid wood furniture. This used to be a staple, and now it is certainly a luxury. Company-funded retirement packages. Another thing that used to be a staple for the working person that is now a luxury. Sports tickets. The article goes into how it was easily affordable to take your whole family to a sporting event in the 80s and 90s, and these days you basically have to take out a second mortgage. Free driver's ed in high school. I graduated in 05, and I can't remember for the life of me if I had driver's ed in high school. One-time purchase of software and products. The good old days when shit wasn't subscription-based and you actually owned something. Watching musicians perform live in concert. Me and my little brother were just talking about this. I cannot fathom. Like, I go to shows, I go see musicians. If I want to record something, I'll usually kind of have it down like to my side a little bit, and like I'm looking at the performance and my phone's recording whatever it's recording. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I've never understood when people are like looking at the live performance through their phone. Like, bro, you can do that at home. Going to the movies. Again, this is a pricing thing. In the 80s and 90s, tickets were, I think the article said, around $3 or $2 and change in the 80s, and it jumped up to $5 in the 90s, so it was easy to take the whole family to go see a movie. Flight tickets with legroom, meals, luggage, and seat options. Preach. Preach, preach, preach. Because these days, especially if you're flying fucking Spirit or Frontier, which I refuse to do, airlines have become city buses in the sky. They just took like the template of a city bus and they were like, yo, let's put wings on this shit, put it up in the air. Long-lasting clothes and shoes. I have a pair of Doc Martens from the 90s that are tried and true. Those motherfuckers will never quit. I bought a pair maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and the soles started coming unglued. Reasonably priced healthcare. With all the taxes we fucking pay, let's just get free healthcare. Horses on farms. The article was saying in the 80s and 90s, people who lived in rural America would still use horses to get to and from places. even if they weren't Amish. Annual festivals and carnivals in town, I don't really care about this at all. Carnival food's pretty good to clog the arteries, but those rides are put together with meth and bubblegum. Tickets to theme parks, once again, reasonably priced to take your family to theme parks in the 80s and 90s. These days, not so much. Week-long vacations at national parks. The article again goes into the fact that pricing was cheaper in the 80s and 90s, and most families these days, because of the increase in everything, are planning day trips instead of week-long vacations. Affordable food at the farmer's market. The article should have just said affordable food, because the few times I've gone to farmers markets, they've been cheaper than grocery stores. Wallet-friendly state fair activities. What's the difference between a fair and a carnival? I feel like those are the same.
The reason the boomers give us shit about buying luxuries is because back in the 80s, luxuries were expensive, but life was cheap. Now it's been inverted. Our life is expensive, but our luxuries are cheap. So I think this is where the disconnect's happening. For example, in 1980, you could rent a great apartment for $200, but a television would run you $1,000. So if you bought 3 TVs, that would be $3,000. A CD player was $500, a cell phone was $2,000, a personal computer was $2,500, and a microwave was $500. That's $8,500. That is 3.5 years rent on luxuries. And $8,500 was also equivalent to a 20% down payment on a $40,000 home. So it was irresponsible if you didn't budget correctly to buy all these luxuries because it could be holding you back. But today, it's flipped. Our biggest luxury is our rent for $2,000. We can now buy 3 televisions for $600. We have a Spotify account, cell phone for $1,000. You can get a computer for $500, a microwave for $200. That's about $2,400 a month. So our luxuries is about 1 month's rent, where theirs was 3.5 years rent. And if you want to put this onto a down payment, even if you took the average home of $420,000, let's bring it down to just $320,000. A 20% down payment on that is $64,000. So if you gave up all those luxuries, you would still owe like $61,000. This $2,400 of luxuries wouldn't even cover your closing cost of $10,000 on that home. So the whole thing's been flipped. So I think when they see us with the TVs, the avocado toast, and the cell phone, they think that's the reason we can't move forward. But why we can't move forward is because housing, daycare, college, and healthcare is so expensive, but those are our necessities. These luxuries are just fun little things that we have.
Signs that we're in a recession. People are not taking rideshare rides. Yes, as my side job that I've done for over 8 years, the last time that I've constantly seen a drop in rideshare rides was when COVID happened. And I'm just saying this now as somebody that does this as a part-time thing, not a full-time thing. I did a video not too long ago and everybody was like, oh, it's because a lot of people are unemployed. Oh, it's because it's oversaturated because everybody's doing it as a part-time job now and not in a full-time job. Everybody's doing rideshare. No, I believe truly that it is a luxury to get a car to pull up to you, a Uber or Lyft to pull up to you and to get from point A to point B. I know a lot of people usually use it, but they were also saying not too long ago, people were saying, oh, you know what it is too, is that so many people are trying to save gas money by not going as many places when they're going. Like they'll go to their work and then they'll come back and they'll make a stop in between, like maybe the grocery store, and they're not driving as much. And I constantly, literally, I'm not even joking. The only time I can really get a good amount of rides is if I'm lucky on a Friday or Saturday evening. Not even on the weekdays, at weeknights or whatever. Like, it is signs of recession. I don't care what anybody says. It's literally, I don't think that people really want to be taking Uber and Lyft rides. That's my opinion, but it just made me think about what do I do next for another side job, because I usually do this as my side job, because wow, and it can't be football. Hell, y'all tell me, do y'all even take Uber, Lyft rides lately? Just let me know, because I just feel like so many people are trying to save money in places that I feel like taking an Uber or Lyft is a luxury, along with a lot of other things. Let me know in the comments. I really want to know y'all opinions.
This is how unserious of a time we are living in. Now that all of these Chinese manufacturers are getting on TikTok exposing all of these luxury brands and whatever, I guarantee you, mark my words, the new flex, the new trend is going to be flexing the fact that you have American-made products. It's going to be like, oh, you can't afford American-made? Brokey.
Hey, I don't know who this is for, but when we talk about luxury as it pertains to self-care, it is not about materialistic things. It is about the luxury of having your time back, the luxury of resting, the luxury of having healthy relationships, the luxury of feeling good in your body, the luxury of not feeling overwhelmed every day. That is what luxury is when it comes to self-care. And I just wanted you to know. That's all.
Saw this video the other day and I could not agree with it more. Like, honestly, the real luxury in life is being able to pick up your kids from school at whatever given time, go on their field trips, not having to ask anybody for permission. I don't care what anybody says. That is the real flex. That is the ultimate flex. People like to downplay the role of a stay-at-home mom, but bitch, you're there for your kids. Like, hello? I don't care how your bank account's looking. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care how big your home is or how small it is. Bitch, you take care of your kids. Like, you're there. If you're ever feeling down about your life and you're a stay-at-home mom, bitch, just think about this. You are living someone's dream, girl. If your kids are sick, you simply stay home with them. You don't have to ask anybody for the day off. You don't have to call in. You don't have to worry about someone being mad at you for calling in. You're that girl. Like I said, you're living someone's dream, and girl, that is such a luxury. You are literally rich. How about y'all? But I will never stop saying my man, my man, my man, because my man, like, hello. I don't care about material things. Nowadays, es un lujo to be a stay-at-home mom. It's literally a luxury.
So the internet was insanely triggered when I posted that traveling is no longer the flex people think it is. Here's why travel is the new entry-level luxury and what that says about broader culture. So this post I made on Threads is really popping off and got some people incredibly angry. They were attacking me personally, saying I'm bitter, that I must never travel. Even coming at me sideways saying, like, you live in a studio apartment. It's like, yeah, I live in New York. Another part that was really interesting is that most of these comments are coming from people that look like me, black and brown people. And it's because travel today symbolizes something much bigger. This person put it perfectly. It's a huge flex. We never traveled in my childhood like I do now. It's a sign that I've left poverty and become a part of the middle class. Which is like, amazing, go off. There were also a lot of comments saying that, like, who thinks it's a flex, but, like, open a book. Like, travel has always been tied to status signaling. Why else was England trying to literally conquer the entire world at one point? But here's the thing. Today, modern travel is very different. It's been completely democratized through things like buy now, pay later, affordable airlines, Airbnb. And whenever something becomes more accessible, like, the cultural cachet gets diminished. And then the goalposts move. But there's actually a more broad cultural, like, economic tension here that I think is interesting. Americans are being priced out of homeownership, health insurance, retirement. But you can go on 4 international trips a year and post about it on social media. I was recently watching The Financial Diet, great YouTube channel, and they had a great quote saying how Americans are being priced out of necessities and sold low-quality garbage. And travel kind of fits right into that pattern. Because this is what it's going to look like once you get there. And let me just be clear that I know I'm coming from an incredibly privileged situation, having traveled my entire life. To the point where, like, if I don't have a reason to be in the place, I don't actually really love traveling like that. But because I've kind of been doing it forever, I can very clearly see how this meaning of it has changed. So to wrap this all up, traveling isn't not meaningful. And it can mean a lot of different things to different people. But on a cultural level, the meaning has changed. Travel really has become a new entry-level luxury. Because when things like healthcare, owning a home feel so out of reach, travel becomes the stand-in for progress. And me questioning that in that post feels like questioning people's entire sense of progress, which is uncomfortable.
You probably don't know this, but designer items are not made for rich people, they're made for poor people. Luxury brands do this thing where they make different items for different people. For example, Cartier has high-end jewelry that ranges in the 6 figures, and low-end jewelry for everyone else that wants to look rich. Dior does the same. This dress is high-end and costs $18,000 versus low-end $1,000. And ironically enough, it's the poor people that are making the brand famous because they're the ones walking around with the brand logos. But it's actually the rich people who are affording the most expensive items that usually don't have a brand logo at all. Like here. And who's the obvious winner here? The luxury brand, because they make profit from both the poor masses and the richest people in the world.
I can't help but laugh at how a lot of these like big brands and corporations are practically begging people to come into their stores and shop for the holiday season. Now that we're almost like halfway through Q4 and they realize people are not buying. People aren't buying. And you know, a lot of businesses make almost 25% of their annual sales during the holiday season. And I'm surprised that they're surprised. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? You hiked the prices up on everything. Mind you, like a jacket costs over $150. It's like 100% like plastic, mind you. You don't even pay your employees like a livable wage. People can't afford groceries, let alone to shop in the stores that they work at. And you lobbied behind politicians that stripped like people's affordable health care and safety net programs. Like, people are concerned about eating, and these brands are like, well, why does nobody want to come in and shop my 25% off holiday sale? My 30% off Black Friday sale. Get out of here! Be like so for real. It's like, oh no, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions. I just scrolled past a TikTok of like an ad where like Victoria's Secret is selling pajama sets for $5. I have never in my life walked into a Victoria's Secret and been able to purchase something for $5. Like, it's desperate. They're desperate. What did you think was, people are struggling to survive, like holiday shopping back of people's mind. Come on. Ugh.